Here we're going to look at solving an equation that has fractions. So it doesn't matter that there's a variable on the bottom. Same thing as always. I want to know if I want to get rid of a divided by 5, I can multiply by 5. If I want to get rid of divided by y, I could multiply by y. So what's the least common denominator there? Or least common multiple is 5y. So if I multiply the whole equation by 5y, and don't forget every term has to get multiplied by 5y, then hopefully something should cancel out and we can see what we're left with. So let's see here. 5 and 5 cancel, so I'm left with y times 2, or 2y. Here the y's cancel, so I'm left with 6 times 5, or 30. And then here nothing cancels because it wasn't a fraction to begin with, so I end up with minus 10y. And so now I can just try to solve. If you add 10y to both sides, so I get 12y equals 30, and divide both sides by 12. And so y equals 30 over 12. I can divide those both by 2, and so I end up with 15 over 6. Oh, and I can divide those both by 3. So here's a good example of if you ever don't get the biggest common factor when you're canceling fractions or reducing a fraction, it doesn't matter as long as you just keep checking. So I can divide all those both by 3, and I end up with 5 over 2. And so now it's reduced all the way. It tells me I could have divided these two by 6, but if you ever don't get the biggest one, it's not like you'll get it wrong. Just keep simplifying until you can't simplify anymore.